a fake. Facing Gibra's legs. Bad Blood 2004 took place at the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio in front of 9,000 people in a capacity crowd. 484,000 people watched worldwide, down 200,000 from 2003. Not a great number, but not totally bad. Blood. Sorry. It was the final Bad Blood until 2024, but wrestling was dead by then, so this is the final Bad Blood, and is also a Raw exclusive. The opening video package focused on the main event, Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels vs Triple H.
Ooh, yes. Ooh.
We also focus on Benoit vs Kane in the World Heavyweight Championship match. We get a nice blood-ridden intro and have our blood-dripped set, which does look awesome each time, with a nice rock song to accompany us. Match 1, World Tag Team Championship, La Resistance vs Edge and Chris Benoit. The Quebecian fuckers are the new tag team champions.
I'm going.
Then they sing the Canadian national anthem. Edge, a Canadian, interrupts. Edge and Benoit were the champions after beating Evolution and have their rematch here as Benoit is pulling double duty tonight. I guess all four are repping Canada here? Of the three members of La Resistance, Dupree was the best of the three, so without him they struggle to be very interesting. They dominate Edge for what feels like forever, their offense is mediocre. A bit botchy and dull. I found myself dozing off during it. Edge didn't have enough hope spots either to keep it flowing, although finally when he hit an enziguri, sold excellently by the way, then got the hot tag to Benoit, who instantly brought life to the match. Edge nearly spears Benoit by accident, but they recoup and have them beat until Kane comes out. Benoit's lack of reaction was quite funny. Then Kane beats up Edge and Benoit, causing a crappy DQ finish. An utterly pointless match and not a way to begin a pay-per-view. Rating a D-. Eric Bischoff talks to Coachman. Regal will not be at ringside for Coach's match against Eugene. Eric wants Coachman to get rid of him. Then they notice Eugene overheard and is crying. Eugene, you don't like me, Uncle Eric. Eric tries to lie to Eugene and that he is helping Eugene and doesn't want him to get injured. He tries to get him to forfeit and go home, but Eugene wants to wrestle. Eric does not look pleased. Match 2. Chris Jericho vs Tyson Tomko. Tyson Tomko debuted, and fell over during it like a retard. He is Christian and Trish's problem solver. Christian is injured and gone for now, and Jericho has an injured set of ribs after getting powerbombed through the announce table by Tyson Tomko. Trish is looking mighty fine. Hella cleavage, baby. Tomko has a cool, unique look, but I remember him being absolute dog shit and bland. This match is to showcase Tomko as he needs a distraction, and he needs a distraction to take control and work over Jericho's ribs. Tomko does some cool power moves like the Black Hole Slam, but then ruins it by doing a bear hug, the most boring move ever. Jericho manages to come back and work the legs, and Trish gets knocked off the apron by Tomko and is hit with an enziguri and beaten. What a debut, beaten by an injured man. The best part of this match was looking at Trish. It wasn't awful, but just kinda there. Very basic stuff with nothing too interesting. Tomko had some cool moves, but losing here just made him into an instant punchline. Rating a D. We hear from Randy Orton, who is with Todd Grisham. Orton asks what tomorrow is known for. It is the 6-month anniversary of Orton being Intercontinental Champion. A good run, to be fair. He is facing Shelton Benjamin, as Shelton pinned him a few times in non-title action and tag matches. He makes up that the crowd is booing him each time he speaks. They weren't. But he needs to say this because he is booked to go out to the crowd and rant about how great he is. He does check out a nice lady in the crowd. Can't blame him. He asks people to bow to him. We're not in Japan, Randy. Shelton finally comes out and tells Randy to shut up. He wants the match to happen now, and it does. His voice projection is so poor, it makes it hard to cheer in promos, there's just no energy. Match 3, Intercontinental Championship, Randy Orton vs Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin dominated early on before making a mistake and allowing Orton to take over. He hits his absolutely beautiful stalling neckbreaker, but this is in between two uber long boring rest holds. One is fine, but 2 in a row is annoying and clear time filling. Orton misses a big crossbody and gets suplexed for a near fall. We get some nice work between the two after this, including a 2 count off a diving clothesline. Orton perfectly sells the dragon kick, which is always amazing. T-bone suplex, but Flair interferes and helps Orton get the ropes. Benjamin attacks Flair and beats the crap out of him and puts him in the figure 4 to booze and rolls up Orton for a 2. Orton rolls through a diving crossbody and pins Benjamin to retain. The first third was good, the second third was boring, and the final third was amazing. They really made Benjamin superhuman for a while before succumbing to a roll-up. A very weird match, good in places, but also bad in places. Overall, though, more positive than negative. Rating, I think a B- is fair. We see Lita and Matt Hardy backstage. Over the weeks, Kane has been tormenting Lita and getting her to say yes to a question, but we did not know what the question was. Matt Hardy now, all of a sudden, is a babyface, and months after humiliating Lita, is now back to her boyfriend. Okay then. Matt Hardy is escorted out of the building by Eric Bischoff due to him possibly wanting to attack Kane during his title match. It doesn't quite make sense, but we move. Match 4, Women's Championship. Victoria vs Gail Kim vs Lita vs Trish Stratus. So nice, we see her twice. Trish is lovely. Gail Kim also looks cool and hot. And Victoria has a dancing and stripping entrance now. I love it. She is great. She also has the Nicki Minaj theme song now before she was famous. This is a chaotic match, a bit messy, but it makes sense with many competitors, but there are also a lot of great things in here. Some nice action and smooth offense. Tomko gets kicked out, and Lita uses it to nearly beat Trish with a twist of fate. We finally get the correct camera shot of Victoria's jiggling moonsault.
Yes!
Gail slaps the daylights out of Trish and does some lovely athletic stuff. Lita hits a brutal DDT on Kim, but is rolled up by Trish, who becomes the new Women's Champion. Quite a fun, if way too short match. Chaotic and fast-paced action throughout, which looked great for the most part. Everyone got a bit of shine in, and looked good in many ways. Rating, a solid C+. Match 5, Jonathan Coachman vs Eugene. Regal is banned from ringside. Eugene has been quite fun on Raw throughout this, with his friends Regal, Benoit, and even The Rock. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same for Coachman. Eugene has unbelievable strength, shocking Coachman. Eugene is over with the crowd. He even does the JYD headbutts and P-Torn, which is amazing. I remember using that on SmackDown vs Raw all the time, very funny. Coachman calls for help, and a lovely lady in a bikini comes down with cookies. God damn, I want it all. The girl is nice too. Eugene is excited for cookies, but gets hit into them. But Coachman makes the mistake of getting Eugene angry, and Eugene destroys Coachman. Mid-Cade comes out and annoys Eugene and gets knocked down, but rock bottom and people's elbow to Coachman for the win for Eugene. This was actually quite entertaining. Eugene was a lot of fun when humiliating Coachman, who is just insufferable, but fun to see get humiliated. Of course, not a technical classic, but I was sports entertained. Stunners to Mid-Cade and Coachman afterwards. Rating, a C+. Match 6, World Heavyweight Championship, Chris Benoit vs Kane. Kane got this opportunity by winning a Battle Royal on Raw. Kane hates Benoit as he lives normally, while Kane lives in darkness. The The video package is pretty good for a match with not that much story progression. These two actually work quite well together. Kane's dominating power offense looked good with some hold spots to keep it in flowing. Benoit's comeback was well done, targeting the legs with some good selling from both men. Kane gets locked in a sharpshooter but barely gets to the ropes. Then we go to German City, not that those exist anymore. Kane sits up, so Benoit simply does more German suplexes, 6 in total. Then the diving headbutt connects, and after a delay and no pin, Kane sits up again. He is a monster, the big red monster. Chokeslam, delay, 1, 2, but Benoit kicks out. Kane gets caught off a diving clothesline into the crossface, which looked really good. Kane surely wouldn't tap out though, so he powers out nearly, but then gets rolled up for the 3. Actually quite a smart finish to protect Kane after a fantastic match as he didn't tap out. Good pacing, good structure, and a good finish. Really good match. One of Kane's best matches. Rating, a B+. Benoit speaks after to Grisham and puts over Kane big time. He tries to get his "the Chris Benoit is for real" over by saying it like 5 times. Odd segment. Main event, Triple H vs Shawn Michaels, Hell in a Cell. The big one. We get the epic video package to hype this up, not that it needs much hype. This starts off hot with a brawl, and after a great back and forth opening we get down to the next portion of the match with Shawn selling his lower back fantastically, walking funny, stopping moves due to it. Just little moments like that can add to a match so much. This leads to Triple H taking control and working over the back. And Shawn is one of the best at getting his ass kicked because he sells so well, you feel his pain. You feel bad from him, but you also get the feeling that he can still come back no matter how bad he's beaten up. We have a great moment as Shawn reverses an abdominal stretch and hip tosses Triple H over the ropes. Great bump, and Shawn still sells from it. Shawn Michaels gets desperate with a low blow to buy some time and begin a comeback. But his comeback ends by being brutally backdropped off the steel steps. Triple H uses chairs and stairs to beat down Shawn Michaels and bust him open. This is a blood feud, so both guys bleeding does make sense in this match, and it wasn't done earlier, so also making it feel more special. Triple H just brutally beats down Shawn using the surrounding cell. Shawn's selling again is just so perfect here. We continue to get fantastic back and forth action, then a ladder comes into play which includes Triple H taking the Harley race bump off of it. Damn. Shawn Michaels gets his brutal beat down on Triple H now, and Triple H proves he can sell just as well as Shawn Michaels. These two are just so good, especially together. As we begin to reach the 40-minute mark, both guys can barely stand or even cover their opponent. It's very well done. A table finally comes into play, and Shawn Michaels climbs the earlier ladder and hits an elbow drop through the table, off the ladder. He can barely cover and fumbles over Triple H slowly. He gets up and tunes up the band, but takes a low blow. The pedigree finally connects. I would like to note that it took over 40 minutes for our first finisher to connect. Wrestlers could never do that these days, they do not have the patience. After a slow cover due to all the pain, Triple H covers Shawn Michaels and HBK kicks out barely. Both guys have to use each other to stand, and Shawn Michaels pushes him off, and a sweet chin music out of nowhere, which was awesome. Slowly he covers, 1, 2, kick out from Triple H. Once again, neither can stand properly, and a kick to the gut and a second pedigree, and both are dead. Finally, they come up again, and a third pedigree, and finally that wins the match after a hell of a war. Neither guy can even stand up post-match.
That's perfect!
An absolute masterpiece and one of my favourite matches of all time. Superb storytelling, fabulous pacing, with not needing to go 100 miles per hour or do all the spots one after another. Great rivalry and characters, amazing selling and brutality in action. It felt like a perfect end to a rivalry. It felt like a true battle, a war where both men gave absolutely everything. What a match. This is how you wrestle. Rating, 5 stars, S tier. After an extremely weak start, this show got really good by the end with 2 fantastic main events, with match night obviously being Triple H vs Shawn Michaels. The worst match tonight was the opener, Benoit and Edge vs La Resistance, just an utterly pointless match. Moment of the night goes to Shawn Michaels' elbow drop off the ladder, that was an epic moment. And sexy moment of the night goes to Victoria's jiggly moonsault, which we finally got the correct camera angle for. MVPs? The bronze medal goes to Gail Kim. I thought she had a fantastic performance in the Fatal 4-Way. Silver medal goes to Kane for his epic match with Chris Benoit and one of his best performances. And the gold, it's got to go to either Triple H or Shawn Michaels, but I'm just going to give the edge to Shawn Michaels here. Overall, I'll give this show a B. It's pretty good. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You know you won't, and none of you are watching this right now, but I'll say it anyways.
Peace out, my brothers.